Hey everyone, it's WB1 on Reel. I go by WB1 mainly. I thought it's finally time that I put out a YouTube video on how to make racks. I get a message nearly every single day on how I have so many racks and how I acquire them and what's my method in getting those. I'd like to preface by saying this is just a hobby for me. I do this for fun. It's just a little thing on the side for me. I work full time, so I just enjoy, grinding out getting racks a lot. So I really appreciate all the kind messages I get in my DMs from everyone and the support as well from this first video as well. I know I've already got a few subscribers there, not many, but still it's a lot to me, so I appreciate that a lot. I wanted to start out, before I show you my method, I wanted to thank Finta. He's been amazing in teaching me some of the ways as well of Reel, and he's been really good when it comes to acquiring cards too, and a good mate of mine on Reel, so I really appreciate him, and an Aussie brother of mine too. Now, as you can see, I've got 835,800 racks in my account right now. On top of that, I have, what's this? I got about 12 iconics and mystics, and then quite a large number of legendaries here at the moment too. Mainly I sell legendaries and mystics. That's what I find the best and most profitable way to make racks, and that's usually through the auction house. My intention is to never actually sell these cards and hold on to them and take the daily earnings from them every day, but I always list all of my cards every single day on 2 12-hour cycles, and I usually list them a bit above market average as well, because if someone's going to come pay, say, for Tyrese Maxey, they're going to pay 14,000 for him when the market value is about 8, I'm going to take that. But I'll explain a bit more about how I make the cards as well. I'd also like to say, don't hit me for my drafts. I'm not very good at them. I need to listen to Finta more. He's got a whole group chat which gives out daily drafts too. Definitely go give that a look. I'd highly recommend that. Essentially, the main method I use is selling legendaries, as I mentioned before. How I get those legendaries is a mix of loose cards and then bulk ratings too. If you don't know what bulk ratings are, I'll quickly jump into the auction house. There's a great feature here which I use. When you click on all up here, you drop down, click listing type and bulk rating. This is going to bring up all the bulk ratings for all the cards in the market at the moment. Usually I go hunting for pretty low priced bulk ratings and high demand cards. Great examples are Steph Curry, SGA, Giannis, Luka, Jokic. Those are all players who are always in high demand in their legendary form, and you're usually able to get rare deals pretty good during the day. We can check this out if we jump through to, let's say, Steph Curry here. We'll jump through to Steph. Usually what I'll do is say I have a dead Steph, as I'd call it. It sounds a bit bad, but a dead Steph essentially means that in my books that Steph has no cards, no rating at all. I've just sold him for 14,000 racks. I need to make another one of him. I will at most spend 10,000 on a legendary, but never more than that. The reason behind that is that I like to keep a certain profit margin on each card I sell. So it usually ranges between 20 to 30% per card. So just the basics, I'll go through all these Steph Curry bulk listings. As you can see, there's 44 available right now, and I'll look at the rare and epic listings primarily. Now, I always try to spend less than 20 per rating. And as an example, I'm not sure if you know what per rating is. So we have here 81 rating at a 2,500 cost. So that's quite expensive. That's going to come out to over 30 per rating. So I would avoid this card as an example. I'd come through here. I'd ideally be looking for cards less than 2,000 racks for the rare rating. We'll take a look, see if there's anything here. And we'll always target prices too. That's with the little target here. I don't like to bid up on auctions that are, say, 13 hours time. I like my racks to be constantly moving. You're more than likely going to get outbid too. I'm in Australia, and in 13 hours I'll be asleep. So I like to look through and see if there's anything here. Here we go. Here's a great one. 86 rating for 1.9k. 5 rare ratings is going to equal a legendary. So if you're spending less than 10,000, you should be able to sell a legendary over about a 3-day period for about 14,000 when it comes to Steph Curry. So we're going to have a look through. We've got a 5,000 rating epic here. I wouldn't buy that unless I absolutely need it. I'd try to spend less than 5 on epics. We'll go through. So as an example, we only have one Steph Curry at the moment that's at 1.9k. So there's only one available here, but that's okay because you want to have multiple cards you're working at the same time going through. So once you've collected your bulk rating player, please be mindful as well of the players you collect. Some people you may look at, like Paolo, for example, you can usually get a rare rating between 1.2 to 1.6k, and he sells for about 9k on the legendary market. So 2,000 here, I would say that's a bit of overpay, and I'll generally try to avoid that. All right, so I finished collecting all my Steph Currys now that I was looking through. It took me a few hours to go through everything. We now do have enough, though, to come into our players, and I've actually got him all the way to Mystic as a sort of extreme example. So it cost me 28,000 racks to get him to Mystic. Here he is, just down here, I believe. So we got him at Mystic here. I got him Mystic, 1,389 rating. So if we're going to go to the marketplace and we're going to have a look and we're going to go bulk rating, rarity Mystic, and we'll put in Steph Curry here. We'll see there's no listings at the moment. That's pretty good. We like it when there's less listings, just because it means there's high demand for that player. It means when you put them up, they generally sell pretty fast. So we're going to come in here, back to our player cards. We're going to come in, and I like Steph Curry, right? So ideally, I would like to hold on to him. But if someone's going to pay a certain price, I'd be happy to sell it. So in this case, we're going to list it here for, we'll just come up to 50,000 racks. Now, really, he's probably only worth 35,000. But if someone's going to come along and pay 50,000 racks, I'll take it. That's a huge profit considering how much I paid for it. So we'll put that on the market. We'll see how long that takes, and we'll come back to it soon. In the day that I made this video, Steph didn't sell, but here's a quick example of one that sold last week for 50,000. Now, I'd like to say something that's really important about selling cards is being patient. It's very easy to just want to get those racks nice and fast and watch them load up into your account and then be able to go buy whatever player you like, your favorite team, whatnot. But the reality is, if you want to make racks, you've got to be patient in this. Listing prices for above market does take time. I'm in a lucky position where I have over 60 cards generally on the market at one time. I'm transacting between 200 to 400,000 racks a day, and my profit, I'm making about 40 to 100,000 racks a day. Now, if you look back at my account 4 months ago, I was doing nowhere near the numbers. I think I had one legendary Shea and one legendary Chet, and from there I've built that account up. It was all patience over time, though, and that's really important. Another aspect I wanted to talk about is buying loose cards. Now, loose cards can be beneficial, but for popular players, you can get perused a bit in terms of the prices. I generally only buy loose cards for players who aren't as popular. Say, what's a good example? We can look at Sphere here. So if we go into his player cards, I can generally get a 4.9 rating for 20 racks. So we're looking at essentially 4 racks per rating, which is extremely good price. I might have gotten the math wrong there. But when you look at players like this, that's when I'll buy loose. But generally, it's more cost beneficial to buy bulk rating rares and epics at a reduced price and then selling your legendaries, or in turn mystics, for a higher price. Again, patience is so important in doing this. Now, I wanted to touch on NBA General Packs. I highly recommend getting Real Pro every month as well. They now have a yearly subscription to available, which I did see come through. I buy all 25 NBA General Packs I can every single day. I find it helpful to have the loose, and obviously the boost is the most important thing in those packs for me. I often get offers from people on the loose in the pro chat market as well, where I generally post messages too. I will always sell my loose, but my goal isn't to hold on to it at all. My goal is purely with the packs to get the boosters for the daily performances. I see a lot of people in the pro chat who come through posting messages, offering swaps or, you buy this pack, I buy that pack. Pro chat, usually you're going to get scammed in the sense that everyone there gives realistic prices. So it's not really a scam. So unless you really need to sell something, I would avoid posting your listings in the pro chat. I always post mine in there and say, DM me if you have any offers, just because I'm happy to receive any offers. If, I have a card that hasn't sold for 2 weeks and someone comes in at a slightly below market price, I'm happy to let it go, just if it means I keep moving inventory. And you start to learn which players are better to hold on to and which ones you just want to get rid of in future. And often you can find cheap auctions in here too. This one's just posted. Let's have a look. That's pretty good for DeMar DeRozan. So a 182 rating for 3,000 racks. Usually for DeMar, you can spend about 6,000 to make him legendary, and then you can usually sell him for 8. So after the 10% fee, you're making roughly 1.2k racks there. So that's a good buy. So it's always good to keep your eye on the auction house, but I wouldn't use it religiously. I'd often just keep an eye on the marketplace mainly to see if there's any deals there. I was just going to add as well, I generally focus on NBA players primarily. I think really focus on the sport that you're passionate about too. Focus on the sport that you know the players. I don't know much about NFL or MLB or NHL as an example, so I primarily focus on NBA, but I know this method is possible with all players from all sports. Now, I hope that was really informative. If I've missed any questions you might have given me over DMs, or if you have any further questions, just drop them in the comments. And if you've made it to the end of the video now, I'd love to bless you. So just hit me up on Reel, WB1Reel. Send me a DM and I'll say you watched the video to the end. I'll send you 200 racks as a thank you as well. This is only going to be applicable for the first week that the video has been live. Just in case it does get too many views. I don't want to give away all my racks, but I'm happy to help a few people out. Again, DM me on Reel as well if you have further questions, and hopefully I can explain it more. But essentially, in a short form, you want to buy rare passes, build them up to legendary or mystic, and sell them for a 20 to 30% profit margin. Again, please never spend more than 10,000 racks per player when you're selling them as a legendary card, and please try to spend not more than, I'd say, 25,000 on a popular player when you're doing mystics. Otherwise, you're just cutting into your margins. It's just not worth your time then, unless you're really happy to make a 2 to 3% profit per card. Don't forget that 10% fee as well when you sell things on the marketplace. Again, thank you very much for watching my video. Really appreciate it. I'm going to try to post every once or twice a fortnight. Just, give me ideas for what you want to know next. I'm doing my road to 1 million racks at the moment. So once I hit 1 million, I'll post a video on that. Then we're going to go road to 64 legendaries, road to 64 mystics, and then road to 64 iconics, which is going to take a while, but I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you again.